of Rich Perhacs, our board solicitor, Cecilia Mahana, court reporter. After the presentation by the appellant, the board will hear from all interested parties in the appeal, whether in favor or in opposition to the appeal. After all presentations are made, the board will recess. We'll then reconvene and make our decisions. The board has up to 45 days to render a decision, but most are made this evening. You may call the zoning office tomorrow morning after 8:30 a.m. if you choose to leave before the decision is made. Any documents that you give us will be held, and anyone wishing to speak tonight will need to be asked to reach the podium. If you have a question someone else in the audience may have, they'll have to come up and introduce themselves so we can properly record. I'd like to now ask that everyone please stand to be sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you. So we have one thing on the agenda for tonight, and that's appeal number 21-25. Linda L. Phillips for property located at 2817 Fiesler Street, asking for a variance for the minimum lot size and density requirement for a one-family dwelling for proposed lot in R1 single-family residential district. Please come up, introduce yourself, give your name and address.
My name is John Phillips.
Please, all the way to the podium and the microphone, please.
My name is John Phillips, 2811 Fiesler Street. I'm Linda's husband.
Okay.
And basically, all we're trying to do is to go back to the original lot that the house was built on, back when it was constructed. The vacant lot that was between them has been mostly used by my wife and I in this 2811 address for the last probably 30 years. It's been that way. We're just trying to get back to what it was originally so that we can combine the 40-foot lot with the 80-foot lot that we're existing on right now, and then get the house back to the 40-foot lot that it was originally built on. We have somebody that's interested in buying the house. She's renting it right now, and she's not interested in maintaining a lot of property with the house, so she would prefer it to go back to the 40-foot lot also, if we could do that.
So we have a plot plan of what you're proposing here, and we have two properties that say, you know, the land of John and Linda Phillips, and it looks like it's an 80-foot by 114 lot.
Okay, there's two 80-foot by 114-foot lots. One is
Okay.
2811 Fiesler Street, and the other is 2817 Fiesler Street.
Okay.
What we want to do is take 40 feet of the lot that's on 2817 Fiesler Street and move it to 2811 Fiesler Street, making that a 120-foot lot, and then just having a 40-foot lot for 2817.
So you're gonna subdivide it?
Yes.
And what you're stating is that originally it was drawn as
or-
four 40-foot lots. but you had-
Originally, it was 4 40-foot lots. The lots that 2811 is on actually just recently got combined because they had to be done for a home equity loan that we were getting. But those were separate lots up until 3 years ago.
Okay. So the intention, though, would be to add it to the existing 80-foot lot, not
Correct.
to have a separate lot.
Not to
but
have a
another
separate
one.
lot. We're not looking to have a buildable lot when we're done. We want to add it to the 2811.
How did it ever become a contiguous lot?
As I understand it, many years ago,
Excuse me.
Whoever's speaking has to come up.
Yeah, one at a time.
as I understand it, when I was a young child, Mill Creek Township had set around notices that if you had the two separate lots and one property, that they would prefer that you combine those two lots into a single lot so that they weren't sending out two tax bills for that property.
Matt, do you have any record of what may have created a contiguous lot versus 4 individual lots?
No, I would imagine that would be a combination deed, but as far as the reason, I don't have any record of that.
Does the township have any record of it ever being 4 individual lots?
Yes, we do. The original subdivision plat for Fiesler Gardens, which was recorded in April 9, 1918, shows four lots of 40 foot by 114.
But you don't have any record of them becoming combined?
In general, you can combine lots through a combination deed. We would get the deeds, we get the deeds from the county. I did not pull the current deeds, so there might be a reference in there. Unfortunately, I just don't have that information available right now.
You made a comment about 3 years ago combining.
Yes, yes, we
So
had.
that's when it was done, is just within the past 3 years?
That's when 2811 was done. 2817, I believe, was done when I was a young child. At that time, my grandparents owned the property.
Okay.
I can remember my mother telling my grandmother that she would prefer that she didn't do that, but my grandmother just didn't want to deal with the 2 tax bills and allowed it to happen.
Okay.
How many other lots are 40 or 80 or 120 down there?
The majority of the lots in the neighborhood are 40 by 114. There's probably 2 or 3 that are 80 by 114.
And Matt, what's the township's opposition to this then? Or is it, you turned it down, so,
Correct, correct. It was denied because the proposed lot does not meet the minimum lot width or length of 60 by 120 for a lot in R1.
Yeah, is the problem that the subdivision they want to make, moving the 40 feet over to the next lot, creates a violation on the lot that's losing the property, is that correct?
Correct.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Everything's in compliance now. But if he moves that 40 feet over to the other lot to make it a super lot, so to speak, this one becomes too small,
Mhm.
and it violates the density and minimum area requirements. Have I got that right?
Correct.
Okay, just so the record's clear, because it's not in there yet, all of the homes depicted on the drawing are in existence now,
Correct.
on both lots?
Yes,
So you just want to make one lot bigger
correct,
and sell it?
correct. Well, I want to make one lot smaller and sell the smaller lot.
Oh, okay, you want to, okay, yeah, okay, you want to, okay. You're going to make you're going to sell the smaller lot,
Correct,
and the person who wants to buy it is okay with that,
yes,
and you want to keep the residue there and add it to the lot next door, which is probably where you live, right?
that is correct.
Gotcha, okay, now I understand.
so
It's
this-
creating a violation by the subdivision. You can't do it without our permission. Can't subdivide it, right? He won't be able to subdivide it without the variance.
Correct.
That's why he's here.
So fast forward then 10 years, the purchaser of what will now be a 40-foot lot, if this goes through, will they have any trouble like we've seen with other people coming before the zoning hearing board with banking situations, mother-in-law apartments and all that kind of stuff because they don't meet the requirements, or does the variance give them the pass?
The variance would allow for the lot to be created at a smaller size, so it would be, how do I put this? From the township's perspective, it would be a legal lot if the variance were granted.
But the lot that the current home is on is, I think, what Mike's asking about, so they don't have an issue. And basically, it sounds like until 3 years ago, that was on its own 40 by 114 lot. Is that correct?
No, 2811 was on its own 40 by 114 lots. 2817 has been on the 80-foot lot for more than 30 years at this point.
So 2817 is when you wanted to go back to 40 feet.
Correct.
But wasn't the property that you're trying to subdivide off the one that was not? Isn't that the one that was just recently added?
No,
Oh, okay.
My only concern is if somebody comes in for a loan 5 years from now, somebody wants to sell this house, and the bank says, and we've seen it with mother-in-law apartments and all this other stuff, well, it doesn't conform to township rules and regulations, are we putting somebody in jeopardy of being able to get a bank loan? It's not our problem at that point. I wanna make sure the township isn't creating a problem for somebody later.
No, from my understanding, a variance would address any concerns on that.
I think he's right. If they didn't have the variance and they did it, yeah, it's a problem then. But as long as if they get past us, the subdivision would be legal and the lot would be permissible at 40 feet.
And there are many other homes adjacent that
Yeah.
are the same size.
That's the evidence, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's correct.
Which property then will be impacted by this telephone pole, which you have pictured here?
the telephone pole is actually gonna be about where the property line will end up if you permit the variance.
Okay. And have you spoken to any of the other adjoining neighbors about this?
My father's here, he lives across the street, and we have a neighbor from down the road that did come in just basically to make sure what we're doing and see that it doesn't adversely impact his property.
Okay. Does anybody in the audience have anything?
Right, do you have anything else
Not right now.
for him? Okay. Does anyone else like to come up and speak on this matter?
My name is Linda Phillips, and I live at 2811 Fiesler Street. And I just want for you to note that the house south of the 2817 property is on a 40-foot lot, and the house north of our property at 2811 is also on a 40-foot lot. So we're right in between two 40-foot lots already. And then the house across the street is also on a 40-foot lot. So there are several houses and they're all sellable. So I don't really think that moving that to a 40-foot lot that our current renter is interested in buying would be an issue in this case.
Okay,
And I have laryngitis, so I'm sorry for.
no
Oh,
problem.
you're fine, thank you.
Shouldn't even be talking.
Anyone else?
Is it a neighbor, you had no questions or anything?
No, I'm just here to see what's going on, to make sure there's no negative effect on my property. I'm 2727. So I'm good. I'm a lot, one lot away from, one lot to the north of them.
And can we get your name for the record, please?
Sure, I can do that. My name is William Alleman. I'm the property owner at 2727 Fiesler Avenue in that neighborhood. Actually, I own subdivisions lots 222 and 223. It's 80-foot frontage on Fiesler on the east side of the street. The lot directly to the south of mine is one house, and their lot is directly to the south of my neighbor's lot. So I'm a full lot away. I just wanted to be sure that there wasn't going to be any negative impact to my property. That's the only reason I'm here, to make sure.
Okay. And you then would support this?
Well, I wouldn't say I support it. I'd like to see it done right. I'm a former title searcher, and I have a map from the county that doesn't show that there are two lots have been subdivided. But this is an old map. I show a 1901, a tax parcel lot 1901 and tax parcel lot 21 as two of their lots that they have right now, which is subdivision lot 220 and 219. They want to add 218 to it, my understanding. And that's part of tax parcel lot 19. So what I show here, they say that this has been combined. If it's been combined, I didn't go to the courthouse to check the record because I didn't know what was going on. It'd be very easy for me to tell you who bought what lot on what day, what deed book and page, and everything else that you needed to know. But nobody asked me that, and I didn't know, what was coming up. Like I said, I'm only here to make sure there's no negative impact on my property, which is 2727 Fiesler.
So you're not opposed to this?
Pardon me?
You're not opposed either?
I still don't hear you.
I said you're not opposed either?
I'm not opposed, no.
Okay.
To what they're proposing, If that's in fact what they're doing, I have no reason to doubt that that's what their intention is, and I don't oppose it, not at all. Okay?
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll take a brief recess to discuss and be back with you shortly.
I'm sad. I really honestly am. Mm-hmm.
You know what, I was driving to work, I was driving back, and I started, maybe I was running it, something made me think about it, and I was like, all
I'm
right.
glad you brought that too.
Sorry. Don't know my own strength. Yes, he did give one to me. I need to have Jackie come in and sign one.
Oh, yeah, because she,
Bob had to recuse himself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I knew he said he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't check. I saw Matt
He
thought there was a copy of it.
resigned. So far now, 3 out of the 6 boards he was on. He said it's starting to feel good. He just sold his business.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow. He said, yeah, it's like this. It's lifted off of me.
Oh, I bet.
Okay. Hee-haw, 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 hee-haw.
Yeah.
6 didn't even get to talk.
13 steps to the gallon.
Okay.
Just back it up.
Okay. Let the record show that we reconvened at 7:21, and regarding appeal number 21-25, I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed? So moved. Motion granted. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
We have something to sign, I bet.
See ya.
There is one for us.